Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah. So tonight we're gonna have a very peaceful lesson on Tafsirs, and we're gonna be using Alhamdulillah bi'ithni Allah ta'ala Tafsir As'Sadi. I remember a couple of weeks ago I had wrote on the board Tafsirs and something else because I had meant to discuss a little bit about Tafsirs. So I'll discuss just a little bit about it tonight. So like when it comes to Tafsirs, so like Tafsirs Ibn Kathir, technically Tafsirs Ibn Kathir was written for scholars to teach from. So sometimes when you read in Tafsirs Ibn Kathir, it can be a little heavy when you don't really know exactly what you're dealing with. So like with Tafsirs Ibn Kathir, you will see in there where to have the Quran ayat, right? And then sometimes it'll have another Quran ayat or several Quran ayats that strengthen that Quran ayat, showing where Allah is repeating this statement, right? So it'll use the Quran to give dalil to the Quran. That's what I also had Israeliyat with Tafsirs up under there. Israeliyat. So we're going to discuss that as well. So it'll use ayats from the Quran as dalil for ayats in the Quran. Then it will have hadiths that was about the scenario that made the ayat come down, right? And then it may show several hadiths. Like one hadith may be just showing a scenario and the situation that was going on where that ayat was revealed. Then it may be another hadith on how the Rasul implemented the instructions that came in the Quran on, like I'm saying, implemented how to put it into practice in your livelihood. For instance, we'll just use something that's well known, the ayats on wudu, right? So then it'll show what was going on when the ayats on wudu was revealed, why it was revealed. Then it'll be the hadiths on how the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed the people how to make wudu. And then after that, it'll have statements from the Salaf. One thing what you will notice is sometimes it'll be like Mujahid, Qatada, Muslim. These three said when this ayat came down, the meaning of the ayat was this, and this. Then it'll say Ibn Abbas, like Ibn Abbas, Muawiyah, and Umar said that the ayat meant this, and this. Then up under that, so what it's showing is the Salaf had contradicting views of what the ayat meant, but the ayat could have meant both meanings. Then it'll say, well, the correct view is what's meant by the ayat was this, and this. So it'll have all of that in there. So you're looking at all this different dalil and how it could be understood and showing how sometimes these people from the Salaf said the ayat meant this. Then these other group from the Salaf said, no, it meant this. Then it'll say either the correct view or the majority said it meant this. And then it'll have what's called referred to as Israeliyats, sort of like stories from Bani Israel, because the Quran has a lot of clarity about Bani Israel. So even when you're reading hadiths, you will see a lot of Israeliyats. For example, what's considered to be an Israeliyat is, for instance, the well-known athar about the guy who killed 99 men. So he had killed 99 men, and he was wanting to seek forgiveness, and then he went to the monks or whoever was the spiritual scholars and asked them, will Allah forgive him? And then one scholar said, no, you done did too much wrong, this and that. So he killed him and made him the 100th person. See, this was before the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But the truth and the issues of these matters was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the truth of the matters of those situations. So, but these things are referred to as Israeliyats. So in Tafsir Ibn Kathir, you will see Israeliyats. You will see statements from the Salaf. Sometimes statements from the Salaf where they didn't agree on certain things, or they had different opinions about exactly what an ayat meant, and it'll have hadiths and also Quran ayats as dalil for a Quran ayat. So it can be a little heavy when you don't really know what you're looking at. Tafsir As'Sadi is more written for like the layman, your everyday Muslim, and it doesn't necessarily have all of that dalil and all these differences and statements and things in it, but it'll give you the understanding of what you should get from the ayat. So like when you start dealing with tafsirs, especially when you get to the Arabic, it can start to get mind blowing. Like when I finally got into Tafsir Qurtubi and started to realize, like, Tafsir Qurtubi was the first sets of tafsirs that made me start saying, whoa, wait a minute, hold on now. Because I was seeing things that I was like, whoa. I was seeing stuff I never heard or never was discussed with before, and seeing where some things come from. So like right now, I'm taking a class, right, and the brother he's doing real strong brother, man. I love him, man. He's going through a set of tafsirs where the Salaf, it has all these statements from the Salaf, right? Because like you have different types of tafsirs. So it has all these statements from the Salaf and the Rasul. I don't have it. It's a real strong book in Arabic. He's a real strong student, so he brought it back from overseas when he graduated. And he do a lot of he have a lot of like new scholars, today's scholars. He do a lot of lives with us, and he translate, and we can ask the questions, and he'll translate to the sheikh, and then the sheikh he'll tell us what the sheikh said, when we can't understand it all. But he's going through Surah Falak, and he's doing all these different tafsirs and statements, because we so used to like a lot of the translations of Falak being translated as by the daybreak, dawn break and different things like that, right? But it's showing how Falak is almost like an area or like a gate or opening that opens up and it ignites the hellfire. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're looking at all these statements, it's like, but it's showing how, you know, when you start dealing with these statements, and they got tafsirs that deal with the language, like where your Arabic got to be so strong and that Fusa got to be so strong, what these words meant then. When you start seeing like what falak mean, hold on, let me grab my phone 1 second, man. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause this just so the YouTube won't get real long. I just want to pull something up on my phone, so we good. All right, one second, YouTube. So alhamdulillah, just doing a quick search on this fatwa website, right? Just to show y'all where these tafsirs that he's going through. And it's so beautiful because, like I said, I hadn't heard this until I just started doing this class 3 weeks ago. So right here it's showing just a quick search, right? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said when he recited, "Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of al-Falaq," right? The Rasul said, "Do you know what al-Falaq is?" Al-Falaq is. It is a gate in hell which, when open, sets hellfire ablaze. So this is how the brother is describing it. So like once it get open, the fire is going to ignite in the hellfire, right? So when you seeking refuge, so like we used to the interpretation of by the dawn or by the daybreak, right? And then another one, it says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said, it is a prison in hell wherein are the tyrants and the arrogant people. This is where they're going to be. So of course, once it open and it ignite, this is also an area where they're going to put tyrants and arrogant people and rulers, right? So like it says, even over here, you know, some people cite some weaknesses, but it shows how a lot of scholars like Suyuti, Imam Shakani, which, you know, that's one of my guys, Imam Shakani, my heart, man, right? And he cited it in his tafsirs, along with, you know, certain other people, a lot of scholars in their tafsirs. So I just wanted to mention that a little bit. And anybody who want to try to do a little quick Google search or whatever, and you can start to see some of these things, because like I said, well, that's my first time even looking it up on there just to see if I could pull up something from the class. So when you start dealing with tafsirs, there's different there's tafsirs from the language, there's tafsirs just from statements of the Salaf, right? Then like I said with Ibn Kathir, it uses Quran ayats as dalil for other Quran ayats. It uses Israeliyats, it uses hadiths, and it uses statements from the Salaf as well. You know, and that, of course, you know, throwing that in, how they use statements from the Salaf, but you have all these people, and I have to admit it, due to the behavior of a small group who refer to themselves as Salafis, you have all these people who mind automatic run rampant when they hear the word Salaf. We hate it, it's Wahhabi, this and that. But then they read Ibn Kathir, but don't realize all these statements from the Salaf that's in it. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. So anyway, we're going to get into Tafsir As'Sadi. Nah. And before I get into that, I just want to make one little thing clear. You know, and I did delete the video, so some people seen it and some people didn't. Because I really don't like talking about the Salafi stuff. I'm going to be honest. But like for instance, Deeds is not Salafi. But everywhere I go, everywhere he go, when we travel, me and Deeds travel together. Me and Deeds been to Egypt together. You know what I'm saying? So like, me and Deeds been overseas with each other. So when I go somewhere, me and Deeds is together. Me and Deeds done sat in Germantown Masjid together. You know what I'm saying? We've done been to some places, but Deeds is not Salafi. Deeds not Salafi. And I really want people to understand that it's Salafiyah is really just a minhaj. That's why it's called the minhaj of the Salaf. It's a minhaj, a methodology, a manhaj. Matter of fact, let's just look it up. So this will make more sense for people. And then we're going to touch it real quick. I know what it means, but y'all know how I like to use this. So we're going to look at the word methodology, which is basically manhaj, M-A-N-H-A-G. Because you know you have manhaj and minhaj. Sometimes when you put M-I-N-H-A-J for the Arabic of minhaj, it'll just be like a way or a path. But when you put manhaj, it gives you a little bit more to it, more like a method, right? So like when you look, it's a methodology. So manhaj of Salaf is a methodology. So when you look up the definition of methodology, it's a system of methods used in a particular area of study or activity. So like I say, the Salafi manhaj is really just a methodology of how you practice Quran and Sunnah. So like these not Salafi, but these don't have any Aqidah issues. These don't have any bid'ah in his deen. But these do have some minhaj issues. But a lot of people, even some people I know that call themselves Salafi and be like we on the minhaj, they don't really know what it means. They just used to repeating what they heard, but they have minhaj issues. So like, I'm not saying these will tell you he not Salafi. But am I going to look at these who has no Aqidah issues, don't have no bid'ah, deen is strong, love Allah, been my man for years, am I going to flip and turn on him because he don't call himself Salafi? No, because I understand that it's a methodology. And for your basic levels of deen, the way that it could be given to you, you really don't. It's really not all that like that to the point where we could be like, we so much above everybody and nobody. It's really not that sort of a thing. It really ain't. You know what I'm saying? So when I say he has minhaj issues, sometimes when it comes to dalil or looking up dalil or how they go with dalil, the minhaj aspect isn't there for these. Like, you know, like these might just answer a question. You know, you ask them something, these just gonna answer it, but it might be based off of what he think, how he feel like it should go. But that's because he been Muslim so long and he done been through that vacation system. He been in that warehouse and he's been on that tribalism, as they like to call it. He come from one of those street tribes that has Islam mixed in it. A lot of that is still in him. Alhamdulillah, I never been to that warehouse. I never went through that vacation system, but I was from a tribe, so I know what it's like. So I've had that in me before. So sometimes the methodology of answering questions and knowing the dalil and knowing how to properly answer questions, it's a methodology to answering questions. And you can see that even when you're looking in books like Tafsirs. Some people don't have that. I know some people around here, you know, they be like, yeah, I'm Salafi, but because they only think saying you Salafi means you from the best group of Muslims and this and that, I'll be like, y'all, you not Salafi. Because you don't understand the minhaj. You don't understand the methodology of how to implement Islam. Even when it comes to just answering questions and the way that you try to give dalil to people. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a methodology to it. So I ain't like other people, or you ain't Salafi because you ain't part of our clique. No, I ain't that. I'll be like a person not Salafi because they not Salafi. I know some people who call themselves Salafi and even go to some of the best, considered best Salafi masjids, and I tell them, you're not Salafi. You don't understand it. You don't understand the methodology, and you're not trying to learn it. And you're not trying to learn it because you think because you call yourself Salafi or hang with Salafis, you're the best thing to touch this earth, and that's not the case. So yeah, so like these not Salafi, but that's my man. That's my man. You know what I'm saying? Always will be. Even if he get a lot of the methodology from me, and I still try to instill it in him, and it be sometimes he'll bounce up like, yeah, I'm Salafi. I'd be like, knock it off. Knock it off. Because you're not finna start being a role model for that. Because that ain't for you. I hate to inform people, man. Just like the Deen of Islam, Salafiyah, the methodology is something that you have to learn. But that don't mean that it's other people Islam not right. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, these Aqidah like that. Right? Bid'ah, none. Right? Sunnah, it's like that. It just, the methodology of certain things when it comes to dalil and ijma and answering questions and driving on people and some of the things that he say, he just has minhaj issues. But he's still my man. So anyway, let's get to it, man. So right here in Tafsir As'Sadi, alhamdulillah, we're going to use, and this is because this is what agreement that I made with the new shahadas. Alhamdulillah, all of them have completed their Quran. Even the brother who went back and started over when his wife took her shahada, a week and a few days he started over. They've all completed their Quran, alhamdulillah. So I told him I'll do a tafsir session with them to help further them into understanding the Quran now that they've completed it. But I've made sure they haven't put it down. And we linked them with some people who have more time than what I have, and they all got their alif bat tab down. So they're working on connecting the Arabic alphabets. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to show y'all a short methodology that I help other people with. So like, you could do stuff like this. Right? That's a ba. That's that alif. And then right there, that's a ta. So you use Arabic letters with English words. So you have them look at this word and what this word say. That says bat. B-A-T. You understand? You cross that out and throw this on there. Now it says hat. So this helped them get familiar with looking at it and trying to put them together. You see what I'm saying? Just little words like that. And then once you get them to that, you could take them to this with a little bit of connection. That's still back. Or once they get a little more thorough, then you start to bring this in. Take away the aleph and put your fat to there. So that still says backed. So this just helped them be able to learn to recognize the connection and how the letters change. So alhamdulillah, they all got their Aleph Bata, they all growing, and then eventually, by the time Ramadan start, we'll be talking to each other in small Arabic sentences. You know, yo kayfa halak. You know what I'm saying? Mastakis, just little things like that. Not that was my mistake. That was a mistake in my wording. I didn't want to say that like that. But anyway, I said what instead of when. But anyway, so here we go. So here go my guarantee to him. We finna read just a little bit of Tafsir As'Sadi, and we using surah number 29. Like all y'all should already have y'all Qurans out, right? We using surah 29, the spider, because this is a powerful surah, and I wanted to bring some ease to the hearts of these Muslims and the new Muslims, because they done got out there and they done witnessed some of the tests that you could be tested with. So, Surah 29, it starts off Alif Lam Mim, right? So, of course, when you see these groups of letters together, and they appear at the beginning of several surahs, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 20. Hold on. Let me pause it for YouTube so I can tell them exactly how many of them it is. Hold on. Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I was correct. It's 29. So it's 29 surahs. All of them don't say Alif Lam Mim. A lot of people don't know that it's one. Like Yasin is one. Taha is one. So there's 29 surahs that start off with letters that Allah only knows the meaning of. Now, once you start digging deep in the tafsirs, you will see some people from the Salaf gave meaning to them. Like your Alif Lam Ra, your Alif Lam Mim, Alif Lam Sa. They gave meanings to them. Some of them did. But the Quran or the Rasul never confirms that, so we can't take that as dalil. But some people from the Salaf gave meanings to them. And then some of them said they were the names of surahs. You can't argue with it because Yasin is the name of a surah. You know what I'm saying? But that's still not giving a meaning to it. It's still not saying that Allah isn't the only one that knows the true meanings of their words. So it gives a little bit of the tafsir saying that, you know, the groups of these letters appear at the beginning of several surahs. The most correct, I like how they put that in, the most correct scholarly view, which is letting you know when you see stuff like that, that means there's differences of opinions out there. So the most correct scholarly view states that we are required to believe in them as they appear to be without delving into their meanings, knowledge of which we should leave to Allah. Because like I said, some from the Salaf, we talking about some top companions, some of them gave meanings to it, right? So we believe that they were not revealed in vain, and that their wisdom, that the wisdom behind them, of which we are not aware of. Allah only knows what those words and letters truly mean. That's why some like Ibn Qayyim al-Jawzi, they felt like it was makruh, it was disliked from some of them for people to have a name like Yasin, or because they feel like Allah only knows the meaning of it, and what if it means something bad? So they didn't like anybody having names from these chapters of the Quran. And there were some people who agreed with him, but not everybody. Alright? So that's Alif Lam Mim, ayat number 1. Ayat number 2. Do people think that once they say, we believe, once you take your shahada, once you enter into Islam, do you think once that happened that they will be left alone and not be tested? And it's in question form. So Allah asked the question and answered it. Indeed, we tested those who came before them. For Allah will surely make known those who are sincere, and will surely make known those who are liars. So, when these testing things come about, are you going to be deemed a liar, or are you going to be deemed truthful and sincere? What now? So when you read ayahs like this, now you need to be able to take a look and say, okay, what does that test look like? Because when you fail tests, that's when the punishments come in. You see what I'm saying? It's when you start to do, because punishments, you have to understand, you earn these things with your own hands. That means you did something for this to go this way. And then that punishment is still a test, because you have to be patient with it and don't put yourself in a position where you're doing even more to bring more punishment on yourself. So as it get into the tafsir, let's go into it. Right? So here Allah Azza wa Jal tells us of the perfect nature of his wisdom, and that Allah's wisdom does not dictate that anyone who says that he or she is a believer and claims to have Iman will be safe from trials and tests. Allah's wisdom does not dictate that. It does not dictate that you're going to be safe from trials and tests, which you could translate to fitna. You're not going to be safe from fitna, and will not be exposed to that which may cause confusion with regards to their faith, to their Iman, to their belief in Islam, and related issues. It don't mean you won't be exposed to things that may cause confusion, such as Salafi, Sunni, Ashari, this masjid, that masjid, when all these masjids doing the exact same thing on the inside for the most part. It reminds me of the thing when it said, the ayat where it says the Jews say the Christians ain't got nothing to stand on, and the Christians say the Jews ain't got nothing to stand on, but they reading the exact same book. This masjid teaching this book, this masjid teaching this book. They doing everything identical on the inside, except for one masjid is calling the other one a masjid of bid'ah, but they doing the exact same thing on the inside. These things they can cause confusion. Because, wait a minute, I've been told this is what I got to be a part of, this is what I got to call myself. But then over here, they doing better than them. The teachings is better. They sound more educated, but I'm told stay away from them. So I really don't know what to do. But I guess I got to stick with them because they got the name of what's supposed to be the best. We're exposed to these things. And whatever that is, whether they call themselves Asharis, Shiites, Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Shafi'i, Salafi, Sunni, whatever. Everything claims to be this is the best way. This madhab is the only madhabs that leads to Jannah. You can't follow Islam correctly without picking one of these madhabs and following it to a T. But then that's saying you go in that masjid and you get to learn and be like, okay, but over there they doing better. They got this going on, this and that. What's up with them though? Oh man, they Shafi'i over there. We don't fool with them. Something is wrong with that. But we over here fighting, we shooting each other. We gotta hate them and this and that. But ain't they Muslim? Yeah, if you want to call them that. But they up on the wrong madhahib. They up on the wrong madhab. They up on the wrong minhaj. See, just because you say you're a believer, just because you accepted Islam, Allah is not guaranteeing, and Allah's wisdom does not dictate that you will be safe from these type of trials, from these type of tests, and that you won't. It doesn't guarantee that you won't be exposed to these type of things that cause confusions in regard to your deen and related issues, your deen or your dunya. Right? So it says, if that were the case, there would be nothing to distinguish ones who are sincere from the ones who are lying. So it ain't about what other people gonna be, or what label, or whatever they want to call themselves. What you gonna be? That's the test. When you come out the other side of that test, what you gonna be? And yes, I am saying Bismillah for those who feel like I ain't because they can't hear me or whatever. And this is my right hand, just in case it look like my left hand because of the camera. So, what are you going to be? Because this is what those tests are for. Allah giving it to us. So, are you going to be sincere or are you going to be a liar? Or are you going to be a follower of the truth? Or are you going to be a follower of falsehood? Man, alhamdulillah. So it says, rather, Allah's way with the earlier nations and with this ummah is to test them by means of ease and hardship or difficulty. So you could be tested with ease. You could be tested with good times, just as well as you could be tested with hardship and difficulties. You're going to be tested with times when one feels energized. I want to study. I want to learn. I want to get out there. I want to do this. I want to do that. But then you find yourself really not doing anything but talking. See, you done test yourself. You done put yourself, because like I say, Allah will test people with what they love. Allah will test you with what you asking for. Some people, oh Allah, help me be able to learn this deen. Help me do this. Help me do that. Then Allah put a person in front of you that could teach you all the stuff that you need to teach. And then they be willing to do it. Cool, I'll get with you. I'll teach you. We could do this and do that. Then when the time comes, what's up, Ak? What's up, OT? Y'all ready to learn? Oh man, we tired. We gotta do this tomorrow. We gotta do that later. Hold on now. I got stuff to do too, but I'm making time to be here for y'all. Oh well, get with me tomorrow. I'm gonna be ready tomorrow. You hear me up tomorrow? Oh man, I know what I said, but see, not realizing you asked Allah for this. See, this is how you could be tested in those times of feeling energized. Because what you gonna do when Allah put it in your face? And a lot of people become negligent when Allah put what they asked for in their face. So you will be tested with times when you feeling energized and times when one feels reluctant. And whatever it is, when you feeling wealthy, when you feel like you got some money, and in times of poverty, right? Allah will also cause the enemies of us to have the upper hand. To have the upper hand over us at times, and causing them to strive against the enemy in word and deeds, and other kinds of tests. Sometimes it ain't always your enemy, but like, let's say for instance, you might have to partake in a masjid where, keep in mind, when we're using the word ignorant, we're not talking about dumb, stupid people, but people who don't really have the knowledge, and they can't obtain and uplift and educate the people over that Islamic hump, but they got the masjid. They decide what go on in it. They decide what talk. And then the people who had the knowledge, who can help the people get over this hump, they the ones that the masjid or the people in the masjid try to suppress because they can't keep up. So sometimes you have to deal with that. This is all a test, right? So like it says, with all of these kinds of tests, all of these may lead to confusion. That is indicative of doubt and overwhelming desires on one's part. Because you might start to doubt certain things in your deen. This is one thing that I've noticed. I've been paying attention to this since like maybe 2012 heavily. Most people that I see seem to have what they feel like they want in life. They had to put their Islam down in some way, shape, or form to get it. Even the way that they got married, they may started off boyfriend and girlfriend for a little while. Illegal sexual intercourse for a little while. They put their Islam down for a little bit. And then they may have got it together. Some of these things, materials, they may have went and got loans. They may have went and committed a little crime in the streets. You know what I'm saying? They've done things where they had to put their Islam down. They went ahead and worked 80 hours every week where they couldn't pray, where they couldn't fast during Ramadan because they was working so much and they was too tired to pray. I'm at work. I can't pray because I'm at work. I can't pray because I'm doing this. It's too hot. I'm working too much. I can't fast. I got to get all this money up together so that I could get this house or I could get these things. These things are tests. But then when they get it, those exact things keep them unhappy. They keep them unhappy. I done seen, brother. Man, I feel like I done became a slave to this family and to this house and all this stuff that they get to enjoy, and I'm working 80 hours a week. I'm doing side hustles and doing this and that, and they get to enjoy the fruits of my labors. But this is their wife and their kids. Then they not appreciative and this and that. Yeah, but you put your Islam down to chase all of that for them. Now that you got it, you unhappy about it? You ever had a thought ever occurred to you because you put your Islam down to get it? And still, to this day, and when I say to this day, because I seen them recently, they've never been able to pick their deen back up to what it was before they had all of that. Brothers get this and that. Seeing brothers get, finally get this wife and all this other stuff. And then they sit around and turn around and say, because like I say, I'm involved. And like I said, I've been watching this for years. Some of them not married no more. Some of the sisters, they left Islam. But the brothers be like, the hardest part about my deen would be straight. My deen would be on so point if I wasn't married to you. If we didn't have this daughter, I gotta stay stuck to you because we got this daughter, because we got these kids. Now I gotta sit around and put up with you. Your deen is garbage. You not really serious. You still act like a kafir. But look what you did to get her though, bruh. Now you done left her living like a kafir. Now she done left and uncovered living like a kafir. You know, and may Allah guide everybody back to what's correct. But my point is, when these tests and things come, I just notice people who put their Islam down just a little bit or on the back burner, they think it's insignificant. So that they could get these things that they want. Then when they get it, these things is such a hardship that they hate it. I done did all this. I done put my Islam down to get this wife. Now she's the worst part about my Islam. I can't even get my Islam together because of her. She going to all the other Muslim houses talking about the reason why she's confused is because of you and this and that. But y'all both keep putting y'all deen down. Now it's to the point where neither one of them able to pick it back up to where it was before they put it down. You see what I'm saying? These tests ain't no joke. Did y'all turn out to be sincere? Or did y'all turn out to be liars when you got tested? Allah knows best. I'm not putting no hukum. I'm not putting nothing on somebody. But, and even for myself, coming from what I've come from, I know when I was putting my deen down for this stuff, I was the same way. It just felt like life was a constant twist and turn or turmoil of me chasing more dunya to feel better. You know what I'm saying? And all this stuff that I'm achieving became punishments to my deen. You got to be aware of this. And Allah is giving it to us. So, as it continues on to say, when faced with doubts, whoever does not waver in their faith and wards off those doubts by means of truth in which they believe, and when faced with desires, worldly desires, that will call them to sin or error, or distract them from that which Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam have enjoined, they still persist in doing as faith dictates. They strive against their desires. This is the proof of sincerity and soundness in Iman and faith. Now this is giving you the gist of these ayats. This is the beauty of tafsirs. Keep in mind, this Tafsir As'Sadi. So when it says, just because you accept Islam, just because you say you've been in Islam and you say I'm a believer, I'm a mu'min, I have pure faith, I'm Allah only, I'm Allah everything, right? It's Allah over everything, it's Allah or nothing. And they think because they say these things, what you gonna do when you test it? Because like I said, I done seen the married couples, man. I done seen the brother with the sister for years, with kids together and everything. But the whole time, he say, you the worst thing to my deen. I put my deen down to get you. Now, my deen can't improve because I'm with you. But it's Allah over everything? I think not. And then they both had to lose their deen before they completely went separate ways. Huh? But they might still call themselves Muslim. When them tests come, and may Allah allow us all to remain steadfast when those tests come, so that we don't bring more hardships on ourselves. But like I said, you got to be careful, man, because you could get tested with your own words. My iman's so strong, it's Allah over everything. But I'm sitting up here married to the worst thing to my deen. I'm telling you, man. And Allah ain't nothing to play with. So like it says, when faced with spacious arguments, this is a typo. So when faced with specious arguments that impact their heart by stirring up doubts and confusions, and when faced with desires that lead them to commit sins or that distract them from doing obligatory deeds, if a person yields to those pressures, this indicates that their faith is not sound or sincere. Quran al-Kareem, baby. People are of varying degrees in these regards, and only Allah knows the level of which anyone is. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us steadfast with the words that stand firm in this world and in the hereafter, and to make our hearts steadfast in adhering to Allah's religion, for tests and trials are like the bellows that eliminate dross and makes hearts good. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So now coming into your next ayat, number 4. Do those who do evil deeds think that they can outwit us, that they can outscape us, that they are more intelligent than us? They're going to outthink us? How ill is their judgment? Their judgment is sick, is ill. How sick is their minds? So coming into a little tafsirs, and then I'm going to wrap it up. That is, do those whose main concern is doing evil deeds and committing sins think that their deeds will be ignored? You don't get away with nothing. And that Allah will not pay any attention to them, or that they can outwit Allah. And that is why they did those deeds, and it was easy for them to do those deeds. So the tafsir on how ill their judge, how sick is their judgment, look what it says. That is, how badly they think and how unjust is their verdict, because it is implicit denial of the power and wisdom of Allah, and suggests that they have the power to protect themselves from the punishment of Allah, when in fact they are the weakest and most incapable of all people. And we're going to stop there, and then we'll continue with 29.5. Because like I said, they might say, it's Allah over everything. Everything is Allah with me. Allah, 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 Allah. But then you look at their choices. They put their deen down for love. They put their deen down for material. They put their deen down for the spotlight. No, I ain't putting my deen down. But you a dayuf right now, Yani. But you in the streets right now, Yani. But you looking at some Muslims that may be possibly better than you, but you teaching, you can't salam them, you can't speak to them. Because yeah, they call themselves Salafi, but they don't hang with us. They call they masjid Salafi, but they don't hang with us. So we say it ain't Salafi. Not because they not on the minhaj, not because they don't understand, simply because they don't hang with us. Don't go over there, don't pray there, you can't talk to them. They ain't Hanbali, they ain't Shafi, they ain't Hanafi, they not Maliki. This is a mistake, honey. This is a mistake. Beware of them tests, man. And get into your Quran and get into them tafsirs. You know. And although in Tafsir As'Sadi, it doesn't necessarily give you the dalil for these statements like Ibn Kathir will, because what they're doing is making it easier for you to understand and not making it so heavy, like Tafsir's Ibn Kathir, where they're going to give you the dalil for these things instead of just giving you the haqq. You understand? That's why As'Sadi wrote this the way that he did, so that you can absorb it. So Assalamu alaikum. There you go, D's, man. Man, I love you too, man. I love all of y'all, man. Yeah, we know. In our group, some of us Salafi. D's wanted to be known for YouTube. D's not the only one that isn't Salafi. We split. Some of us Salafi. D's not Salafi, y'all. But that's my man. Always will be. You understand? Inshallah ta'ala. But anyway, man, I love you too, Ak, man. We gonna build. We're gonna build, man. So it's almost 1 o'clock a.m. So I know it's almost 2 o'clock for some of y'all. I know y'all ready to get them prayers in. I'm in the 21st Juz, close to the 22nd. I'm in sort of. So for me, y'all, when I do Tahajjud, Qiyam al-Layl, I'm wrapping up my Quran, man. Hold on 1 second, man. Let me make sure this don't go off. My bad, man. See, this hooked up to a big TV behind me, so that's why, like, for YouTube, y'all can see me on here, but I can see everything on this TV that's behind me, and I can see the group. So, for Tahajjud, I'm trying to complete the Quran. I want to finish a month before Ramadan start. So what, like Jules asked me what Jules I'm in. I'm close to like the 22nd Jules, might be in 23rd. Let me double check. Because I know I'm close to like maybe like 78 pages left. Something like that. You know, that belt was on me, so I was having to do tahajjud on my side, so I couldn't read from my Quran. I had to recite from my own self, so it took from me reading from the Quran. And they used to have me sad. Let me look real quick. I'm gonna pause this just for YouTube, so 1 second though. But I'm finna show you. Hold on. Okay, so this where I'm at. Hold on, D's. This might not show. As a matter of fact, I'll probably just text it to you. I'll probably just text it to you. Okay. Let me see if this is on the bottom. 1 second. Hold up, Shay. So I got 1, 2, 3. Hold up. 1, 2, 3. Look, it's turning sideways. Let me see if that'll blow up. Hold up, Shake. Hold on. Let me see if I can make this clear. Let me pause this for YouTube. Hold on. And because I want to show it so the new shahadas, they'll see it too. So I'm going to make sure it's on YouTube. 1 second. Okay, Shake. It probably ain't going to get clear. So right here, you can see it's on page. It looked backwards in the camera. But anyway, let me blow this up right here. You see right there where I got that X right there? That's what ayat I'm on in Surah Sajda. So only got I got 3 ayats left, and then I'll be in. So that's one page 79. I'm finna be on 180. The whole Quran is 248 pages. So right now I got 69 pages left. 68, only got 3 ayats left from only got 6 ayats left from Surah, Astaghfirullah, not 6. 3 ayats left from Surah Sajda, which is Surah number 32. And then I'll be in Azab. Inshallah, that's going to happen tonight. It's only 3 ayats. So I'll be in Azab tonight, which is, hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull it up in my Quran. Let me see if I can see how many ayats is in the Azab. 73 ayats. So yeah, I'm still in the 21st Juz. It's 73 ayats in Al-Azhab. Tonight, I got 3 left in Sajda. I might do about, I don't know, I might be about halfway through, or I'm at least do a quarter of that. So I'll definitely be on page 181 maybe. I probably have about 67 pages left. But that ain't bad. I got till Ramadan. We got 3 months and some change. So 60 pages, right? As long as I don't get sick or anything. Right now I got 68 pages left. 68, 69 pages. And 3 months. Come on, Shay. You know, that's 20 pages a month in 3 months. 60 something pages. I do 20 pages a month. You know, even if I do 1 page a day, that's gonna be 30 pages. You see what I'm saying? So if I do 1 page a night, I can be done in 60 days. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 60 days, 69 pages. So basically 2 months, in 2.5 months, man, I should be done, inshallah. But I might speed it up some because the surahs finna start getting shorter. They're getting shorter now. You know what I'm saying? Although I'm on Surah 31, but I'm in the 21st Juz. Almost in the 22nd Juz. So that's only finna leave like 8 Juz, man. I could do a Juz a night if I want to. I could do a whole Juz in a night. I do it during Ramadan. You know what I'm saying? It's 9 Juz. I could do a Juz a night and be done in 10 days. But I've been trying to stretch it out and stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? So alhamdulillah. So yeah, it's finna turn 1 o'clock. I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna go ahead and give me a little, maybe an hour, 2 hours. Then I might get up at like 3, cause it's finna be 1 a.m. for us. For them, it's finna be 2. So I might get up about 3:30, maybe even 4, because Fajr coming in like around 5:30. So I might lay down 2 hours possibly. Get up at 3. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And Bismillah, man, this was some benefit to the people. And I'm going to get better. You know, I'm going to stick to the subject and then kind of leave other things out of it. Inshallah, I'll start to get better, man. Especially for the new shahadas. But I do know certain things need to be touched. You know what I'm saying? So occasionally I might touch on a few things, but we're going to stick to these tafsirs and then the other subject matters. I know the little Akida lessons we ain't been putting up here because they getting them in outside of me. And, I basically just grade their answers, because I don't want to have to read it all to them. So that's getting done too. They up to 6. Y'all starting 6 this week when Monday come? So yeah, they starting lesson 6 this week. That's beautiful, man. They getting it in. They doing their thing, Yanni. Not clapping, man. That was kind of, a stock for the lot. Hey, D's, man. You ain't Salafi, Ak. Alright, y'all, man. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.